Hey there, Katie Joy, the Global Butterfly, and today's experience that I want to share with you is why you should not copy someone else's vision, brand, or content, and why you need to be really focused on creating your own original content. Well, let's start off here. Who wants to be a knockoff or inauthentic or unauthorized as an item, a product, or a service? No one, right? It's what makes great brands, great. Their uniqueness in brand, their product, their vision, their service, their authentic expression of the message that they're marketing to you, me, their audience who falls in love with that experience because it's a unique experience, and it's what makes them original. In order to be unique and successful, you don't have to be like a high-end brand like Gucci or Louis Vuitton or the Mercedes-Benz or Rolex. You can still be a brand for your target market and, even a much more affordable brand, but still be unique and successful with these offers that you present and in the information that you give for educating, informing, entertaining, enlightening, and then creating an audience that's going to fall in love with you with so much know, like, love you factor that when you present some offers, whether they're free or low entry or even a little bit higher, that it's going to be so obvious as a yes to them because they've already identified a connection, a relationship with you, that you're consistent with an authentic expression, an original version of yourself, reaching that your target market with your message. So what makes you or your brand original? Really simply, be unique. Be unique. That's, and that's easier than said than done, right? Especially when maybe we've been conditioned growing up trying to people please and to fit in and be liked, fear of rejection, all these elements that really present a block, if you like, from really stepping into the authentic version of yourself instead of wearing all the masks that keep you stuck, maybe mimicking somebody else. And so, someone else's vision for their business, their skills, their life experience, their strengths, their training, their soul gifts, their vision is never going to be a match to yours, even if they're somewhat similar. We all have a unique soul print, a soul expression, a unique experience, a collective set of assets, if you like. And when we focus on that, that's when we're really going to be able to really tune into building a community of people that are going to want to gravitate towards you because you're really authentic, and you won't be afraid to speak your truth or afraid to express what you truly love and passionate about and what you like or don't like, because you're going to be energetically giving yourself permission to be in that space, but you also give it to other people to be in their light and love. And you're going to attract more and more people who are genuinely in alignment with you versus those that, maybe not a good fit. And then, oh, hang on, you said you were one thing and then you're the next. And so it creates this dissonance. And so dissonance creates inconsistency or perceived inconsistency, which creates a gap or a lack in trust. And that's never going to work well in any relationship. And relationships are what businesses are built on. It's the relationship of you and that person in your audience who is a potential client, who is going to say yes to you and what you're offering, however you're presenting that. So, and something I wanted to share with you is an original is easily discernible from something that's a mimic or an imitation. Something that's original can't be mimicked. It can't be out-created. It can't be matched, if you like, or classed as an original if it's got in any aspect trying to copy. It's just a copy. And, that creates a real gap in that energy when people realize, oh, this is a copy of something else. Oh, well, I want the original. This doesn't feel authentic. And so it really can create that gap. And too many people and organizations are just, not really tuning into that authentic expression of self. And they're just too quick to either be lazy or really not really connect and understand how valuable and important it is, where your true asset for yourself, and if you're building a business or a brand, is in that authentic expression of self through that vehicle of the business that is really going to connect success. And it never works to be a copycat. And why? For a start, if you're a copycat in business, product, or service, it's a race to the bottom as far as pricing goes, because you're going to be competing on price in that lack and scarcity matrix versus on authentic expression of self, which is when there's only one of you, you're in demand. Right? You're in demand. You might have a similar system that may be available. That, let's face it, every industry has a gazillion systems that all perceive to be the same, right? But they're not. They're not the same if you're offering an original, authentic expression of yourself. And that's with the collective collage of your life experience, your stories, your skills, even your weaknesses, as well as your strengths, your assets, your ability to, the systems of success that you've created. And I'm guarantee you there's multiple systems that you've already created success in your life that to you just seem easy and a no-brainer, but to someone else it's not easy and it's difficult and could help them get from one place, cross a bridge to a transformation of another place. And because you've got your unique stories, your unique skills, your unique system of how you've done that, you don't need to mimic or copy anybody else in order to share that with someone else to duplicate that result and therefore even pay you for it, right? But see, the thing that's going to slow down that ability to succeed is all the masks that we have laid on, that we think that we're not good enough unless we're this or that, or we compare ourselves with somebody else's journey and race. And let me guarantee you, everybody's success overnight has never overnight. It was always a 20-year success. It's an accumulation of, and an awareness, identifying with the self, all of these assets of the soul, is like I call them, and where you get to really connect. And, you know, you want to be able to build an original, authentic brand for yourself and your business. And so how do you do that? Well, you do an audit of all these skills and these strengths, the passions, the soul gifts, the systems, the stories that I've just been talking about, where you've demonstrated success personally and with other people to help them get results. And they don't have to have paid you. You might be beginning and validating your ideas out in the market. Well, if you've helped even a friend or a sibling or somebody else get a similar result to you, well, then you've already got success. You've duplicated your own success. And you only want to be teaching what you've already succeeded at, where you've gone from struggle to strength, and you've created a system that helps people go through this bridge across the transformation to get that result for themselves as well. When you can do that and you can pack it down into a system that you can teach, then you infuse that with the delicious richness of your unique self, your stories and the metaphors and the opportunity of just letting your personality shine through. That's really attractive to your authentic tribe. And that's what you want to create. And you need to, in order to do that, you have to know yourself. Know thyself, said Socrates. It's crucial, it's important, but how many people really spend the time to do the inner work and the inner reflection and to tune into what is me? What is the unique expression of me? And when you do that for yourself and you identify all those assets that I was just sharing, you're going to really allow yourself to be more and more of that authentic expression of love and light that shines through you. And that's radiating, that's magnetizing, it's attractive. If you want to build a business, especially online, then you want to collate all of the above things that I've just said and validate them to launch your business. So you want to be doing it from this, what I call the soul brand board. You want to connect with all those things and be really tuned into all those assets so that when you're sharing your vision, your brand, and your message, it is a compilation of you, not what other people are doing. You don't want to mimic other people. You want to model it. And by that, what I mean really specifically is like you can be inspired by other people's presentation and expression, and there might be something similar about that with you, but don't let that then be like a copycat material. You really want to be able to look at and highlight the differences that make you, like, there might be similarities with other people in your environment or your industry, but what makes you really truly different is that whole soul board expression. Identifying your competitors is really important, but because when if you're in a lack matrix, you're going to see yourself, compare yourself with them, and either see as not enough, or you might want to be tempted to mimic and copycat them. Don't do that. It just writes you off as a copycat, and it really breaks the trust and rapport, not only with potential joint venture partners, with people in the industry, but it also really disrupts that like, no trust, wow factor with potential clients, because they're going to go, Nah. And we're moving into the completely transparency age. So everything is becoming visible. Everything is becoming visible. And so you really want to tune into that uniqueness of yourself. Now, I'm an ex-paramedic, and I was just on a call with all of my clients in my mastermind, my Love Light Leadership Academy mastermind. And I was just going through this as part of our experience today with the soul goal alignment coming into the new year. And one of the things that I like to really integrate as part of this is an example of sharing life experience and stories, right? So I've just mentioned I'm an ex-paramedic. I was a paramedic in the industry for nearly 8 years. And I have a really intensive knowledge of the human body, and also very aware of the energetic bodies and the emotional body, mental body, the spiritual body, and how to integrate them all to allow yourself to clear those energy blocks and those patterns that keep you from living out your authentic life. So one of the things that I was sharing as a metaphor is, imagine the human body right now. Like, you see me as one system, one unit right now. Now, my system, my unit, you break that down, it's like I've got 11 systems that are operating, creating the human form. And then you've got, you know, including the systems, you've got the organs, and then you go back down the chain, you've got the tissues, you go back down the chain, you've got the cells, and then you've got the, you know, atomic level of energy that's transforming inside all of those cells. Well, could you imagine if at a cellular level, every cell saw itself as a competitor instead of an individual, unique version of life force energy collectively working in its unique form as part of a bigger system called the human body? What happens if it goes into competitive mode? It's called cancer or autoimmune disease. It attacks itself, right? Versus recognizing, hey, awesome job, salute to you, keep going. Hey, you're similar to me. We both work inside the liver. We're both liver cells. We're both metabolizing. We're both working to do these things. Or we're both in the spleen, and we're both, you know, reproducing blood cells over here. You know what I mean? So like, there might be similarities just like there is in industries, but as a collective, we are still all in a unique expression of ourselves, defining an opportunity to our unique market audience who might also enjoy other people in those similar systems. They might attract them across the board, but you're unique in your own expression. And so when you become in tune with collaborative and by being authentic to who you really are, you then get to be in this cooperative, collaborative abundance matrix. It's a real shift in energetic patterns versus in the lack scarcity matrix where, oh my God, I'm a competitor. If you've got that, I haven't got this. And if you're succeeding there, I'm just going to mimic you. And, you know, because I don't trust myself to be that fullest expression of myself. That never works. It just doesn't. And so I really wanted to bring this to light so that you step into the originality of your own expression in that gap between, you know, what others offer and what you're offering. That in that gap is all of that soul gold branding board that I just shared with you, with your unique skills, your life experience, the stories that you have, your strengths, even your weaknesses. And all of those assets, they combine that opportunity to be that authentic expression to be able to serve your market. And, you know, even if you're not in business and you don't want to do that, this is still true for career. It's what has you stand out, cuts through the noise, so to speak. It allows you to really release a lot of energy as well, because it takes a lot of energy to suppress, keep all these masks on and pretending to be something else other than you're not. And, you know, when you release all those, it allows you to really be that full expression. So another metaphor that I shared with my clients today was a story of which I love sharing this one because I love to travel, and I've been all over the world. I've traveled 7 continents and 58 countries, many of them multiple times. And I fell so in love with Africa, with Kenya, when I went there to the Masai Mara, that, you know, I actually ended up going back twice, you know, very quickly. I went to Italy and I was like, nope, cutting this trip short, I'm going back. And specifically what I really loved was the opportunity to do a hot air balloon safari. And we got up the first time, because it was so good, I did it twice. The first time I did it, I remember being there at the dark with the group. We're all into the basket. We're watching the flame of gas going up and hearing go, and watching this big balloon just fully inflated, and yet we didn't move. And the reason why is because we were anchored down by all of these strands attached to sandbags that were keeping us weighted to the ground. And it didn't matter how much air was put into the balloon, we weren't going to lift off while we were still anchored. And so what's great about this metaphor is that when those anchors were released, we were able to easily, gently just lift up. And as one of my clients, I'll give her credit, Kara, she said, oh, I see it. It was like the earth just fell away. Well, that's just what it's like too. When we put our energy into spiritually aligning with ourselves to, raise our frequency, be in the energy of our authentic self. If we do that without also letting go of all the false assets, all the things that we think we are and comparing ourselves to others, all those things that we've had as judgments of ourselves of what we are, what we're not, when they're not really authentic aspects at all, when we just let them go, it's so easy just to gently rise up. And guess what? When you rise up, not only are you more visible to a lot more people, but you also get to have a lot more visibility of the landscape when you've got greater height. And it's just like that when you tune into the highest frequency, the highest version of yourself. And so I just wanted to share this message with you because on the flip side of that, if you do not want to, if you do not create original content and you fall into that heavier state of energy of fear of not being enough, the fear of not being fear of being afraid of being seen and heard for who you want to be because you're afraid of being rejected, that comes down to not being enough or not feeling like you're going to be loved or accepted. There's all those root wounds that affect all of humanity. No one's exempt from that, right? But when you if you're tuning into that, and then you choose to mimic another brand or vision or a message in part or in full, it's not original. It'll keep you weighted in that balloon, anchored to the ground. You won't be able to lift off. And it also says a lot about this subconscious message that gets expressed, that you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you've got enough the value to offer to people that's authentic and unique to you. So that message is expressed subconsciously to people, and that reduces trust. And so that's not a really fun place to be for you or for anyone else because it's frustrating. And so I'm going to invite you to remember the hot air balloon analogy, also the opportunity for the cellular analogy that connects you with all of humanity, and to really truly do an audit for your soul brand experiences of your skills, your strengths, your life experiences, your life stories, your passions, all these things that you can connect to bring to the table to invite, inspire, empower, educate and inform people. That when you build an audience and do that consistently, tuning to the frequency of your authentic self and what they need and what they want and how your life experience is valuable for them, then it's just going to be an easier opportunity for you to build a much more fun game in the business world for yourself and for others. If you've loved this video, please, I want to hear your comments down below. Like, love, and share it. It's really important to be able to get the engagement and connect this. And if you know of somebody that would really benefit from this short video, please touch base with them or tag them in or send it to them. Share it far and wide. And lots of love, light, and manifesting lots of magic. I'll see you on the next video.